Right, we are recording. So we've had
How
now.
many, how many
Oh,
times will Tom say his name's Tom and he'll get
for
it wrong?
God's sake, you're even interrupting me to make the point, Scott. Yes,
I just have to drop that psychological pressure.
you don't have to. I've managed 2 recordings where I don't call myself Ton. Thank you very much. That's only 2 out of 18
Should we take a sweepstake? I think it'll be Thom this year. This time.
this year.
Thom this year.
I think you get to Tom and then he'll have a mental freeze. It'll be am I going to go Tom or Thom or Tom? And yeah.
Yeah. Could there be? He could just be like, my name is Scott, and then like he completely just picks a different name.
See, now I'm really tempted to just screw with you guys. Anyway, the actual question I was going to ask for this preamble was, we're recording this Monday night. We've had a few days to think of the GW announcement. How are you all feeling? The summer preview announcement.
Sevens.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see what they actually bring to any change to the sevens. I'm hoping that they've merged some of the rules from Gutter Bowl, in particular the potions. I'd love to see the potions in on Saturn.
A bit of a mix of potions and desperate measures, like pick some of the best of each and call them something. Yeah, that'd be quite fun.
Desperate potions.
Desperate potions.
Sorry, that was really lazy.
I generally thought it was better than I was. I expected not a lot. So the fact they did release the sevens, well done them.
Yeah.
The models, okay. Morg, yeah, right, fine, nothing. It's an interesting one. I do like the fact that they give you a few extras on the sprue, so you can do him in his former, whichever historical team he went for. The Roga was okay, and yeah, okay, it's an okay, and some of the mutations and the other bits are okay. The Minotaur was honestly, I thought the Minotaur was a pretty crap model.
I was about to say, the face on the Minotaur looks like someone done it.
Like someone didn't know, is a Minotaur, does it look like a dog or does it look like a horse? Or what does it look like? A bull? Oh, I don't know. I've got to get this stuff in for the morning. It's 5 to 5, and I've got to go to the pub, and I've got to have this on the desk at 9 o'clock the next morning.
Quick, grab the dog and let me scan his face, and we'll just use that.
Yeah. I've only got a French bulldog. Look, it's a French bulldog.
Yeah, I think I'm somewhere in the middle between you guys. Sevens, yep, absolutely love it. We need new sevens rules. Great, they're coming out. The rest of it, Rogue looks cool.
I have to say, the Roga paint jobs, kudos to the GW and the heavy metal miniatures painters. Always good. Really do give you, if you want something for a bit of inspiration, they are very good as well.
Absolutely. There was one point which I think I hadn't really clicked on before that someone made on our Facebook or Instagram. All of this, it just makes Blood Bowl that little bit more accessible for people, particularly if they're going to be bringing out plastic models on sprue rather than resin, and hopefully that little bit easier, a little bit cheaper. So you know what, it's all good. Personally, a bit disappointed we didn't get new, but
sorry, Fixie. Will they be cheap, or they might be easy for people to build? Will they be? Okay, let's place the bet. What do we think each one of those big guys will cost roughly, Chris?
I think probably 20. I'll say 20.
Tom, Peaks.
Hold on, let me just check how much I've got left on my mortgage. £30, so not that cheap.
Mr. Hovel, you could probably buy them all anyway.
I reckon 25. I reckon 25, because if you look at it, the Tree Man and the Ogre on the Warhammer at the moment are £21.50, and they're the plastic ones.
Okay, it's going to be more than that, isn't it, for stars? So I think maybe 25 to 30 sounds right.
I reckon 28.
Yeah. Well, we'll have 0 prizes if one of us is right, except for bragging rights. And then if it's one of us that is too expensive, it's just going to make us sad. Should we get going with the recording?
Me.
Me. Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Dice Please, the bite-sized Blood Bowl podcast brought to you by the people at Blood Bowl Live. My name is Thom, and joining us, as always, is Mr. Scott Bryan. Scott, what is your favourite World Cup memory?
Tom. My favourite World Cup, we're talking football World Cup or any particular World Cup?
Just a World Cup memory.
One of my notable World Cup memories was in 1987 at the first Rugby Union World Cup, and somehow Wales got to the semi-final and they were playing New Zealand, and Wales tried to have a fight with New Zealand, and New Zealand wiped the floor with the Welsh team, physically and on the scoreboard as well. And it was probably a first chastising realization as a young sports fan. Your team are not always the best in the world, and they will often get pasted if they are being a bit arrogant. A lesson I carry in my heart with me to this day.
Good point. We also have with us this week Mr. Christopher Coe. Chris, what's your favourite World Cup memory?
I'm torn between two. One is Joe Cole's goal for England against Sweden in, I think, 2006, like chesting it down and on the volley was sweet. The other one was the 2002 World Cup, England versus Brazil, and it was on at a very early hour in the morning. So our primary school let everybody come to school at like 5 a.m. to sit in the sports hall and watch it on a projector, so you could watch it and then go straight to straight to school afterwards. And it was 1-1, and Brazil scored to make it 2-1. And one of the nice reception teachers, all they recognized was the fact a goal was scored. So this silent room just heard this one lady jump up and shout and cheer before someone politely told her that was the wrong team.
That is fantastic. We also have Mr. Tom Hovell. Tom, favourite World Cup memory?
Probably getting the Italian 90 mini football from Coca-Cola and using it constantly throughout my secondary school years.
Nice. 3 very different options there. For me, I am torn between the classic Johnny Wilkinson's last-minute drop goal in 2003.
Solid.
Yeah, you have to. But also the 2019 Cricket One Day World Cup, where England win it against New Zealand, going to the super over and some absolute ridiculous batting from Ben Stokes. Wonderful day. But we are not here to talk about World Cups. Well, we kind of are this week. We kind of are. I don't know if any of you three caught it. There was a live streamed Twitch on Sunday night, going through the World Cup preparations with the updated pundits team that's going to be there, and we have a load of fresh information about the World Cup in Malta next year. So we thought it's a good time to go through and start to discuss what we think about it. As we are, the all-knowing people of Blood Bowl are not just 5 idiots who don't know what they're doing. Yeah, we are the font of all Blood Bowl knowledge, apparently. No, we're not. Gentlemen, what are we thinking about the World Cup?
I'm very pleased that there's a date. It's in my calendar. I can now semi-plan end of next year, not really, but it's now. I'm glad that we've got a date, and I'm glad the date is well in advance of tickets coming out. That's good to know. I am cautious about the ticket options and what you. I think the 3 ticket tiers sound great. It feels to me like there is a tier missing. I feel like between tier 1 and 2, there's a tier missing. But I'm a little bit pessimistic in my head about how much those very, very cool sounding upper tiers are going to cost. But holding reserving judgment, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And just for reference, the 3 ticket tiers, we've got rookie, which is tournament entry only, and opening party entry, which is quite interesting. Star, which is tournament entry, midday or meal, cardboard, double-sided pitch, set of dice, commemorative coin, and opening party. Legend, which is all of that, the midday meal, 4 dice sets in a special box, 1 commemorative coin plus 2 special coins, a full miniature team, which sounds ridiculous, and the midday meal as well. What level do you feel is missing, Chris?
I think, like, I'm thinking of other tournaments I've been to, and I think I feel like if you're in the lowest tier, you should still get dice. Kind of gut says that. I think in between that bottom tier where you just purely get entry to the event, and the one where you get like a pitch and a commemorative coin and all of that, I feel like there's a step in the middle where maybe you can pay for, you can get meals and dice, but that's it. Or maybe they'll kind of, might be nice if I would assume they would sell the extra sets of the dice when you're there, possibly. And I would assume that maybe when you register, you could just pay extra for the food. I don't know. But it feels like there's maybe one in the middle where you don't want to come home with all the swag, but you just want a set of dice and you don't want to worry about food. Like, yeah.
I think for me, if I can, just a shout out to Greenskin Phil, friend of the show, who's going to be who was the commentary, wasn't he, on the live stream?
He was.
So if he's on the live stream, may Phil bring continued glamour and sophistication and culture to the world. The one thing that worried me when I looked at the list in terms of the freebies, because we love a bit of merch on this side, cardboard pitch just fills me with dread. If I'd paid serious money for a ticket, then you think, well, yeah, I'd like the dice, exactly as Chris said, always love it. Dice are good because, they just, everybody has an oversized collection of dice. But a cardboard pitch, if it was a neoprene pitch, appreciate that. But a cardboard pitch, just, my judgment is highly reserved on that one at the moment. And again, if you are going for the top tier, which from what you said, Tom, Mr. Feeks, you've got all of the above. So you've got your dice, you've got your coin, you've got a cardboard pitch and a team.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a shit team, if it's like gnomes, or halflings, or
the impression that I got,
it's not very,
well, if you look at the description of it, it said like team and like roster details or something like that, which makes me wonder whether they've worked with someone to get a custom team, like a 31st team that is with rules and stuff. And I don't know, I might be wrong, but that's kind of what I thought. Because they mentioned roster, and I thought if it is just your pick of a GW team, then why would they kind of mention?
It's going to be Slan then. It's just going to be a malted version of Slan.
Well, Slan are in there already, aren't they? So unless you're going to have Slan, it's going to be so. Is it going to be Squigs? Is it going to be? But then would that detract from the World Cup if they launch their own team at the World Cup? We've been anti-Slan type conversations galore before. Or do they know something, and are they therefore expecting a new team to be launched ahead of the World Cup? Then why don't you give, if there's an official GW team launched between now and the World Cup, and they launch that, why don't they just do a Dark Elf team? Why don't they just do a Norse team? I don't know.
Looking at what the website's like, and just for people who don't know what the website is, it's nafwc.com, and I have to say, just for the artwork, it looks fantastic. But there is a very big leaning towards knights, obviously from historical purposes, with Malta, which could be the Bretonian team, but it's Maltese style. And then they may give you a rule pack, but then equally it could be used just as a standard Bretonian team.
Yeah, I mean, based on the changes GW made in third edition to all of the teams, it could be six linemen and 2 of 4 different positionals and a big guy, and then they could give you they could give you some like this special Maltese team with some special skills and stuff for you to play with if you want. But it could also be universal to pretty much every team, which is now like pretty much every team is 6-2-2-2. There's not many that wouldn't be covered under that. So that might be quite interesting and quite nice if you've got some custom Maltese style knight sculpts that you can kind of universally use, maybe.
Yeah. Why is there a Space Marine on the front of the World Cup rules pack?
I knew you were going to bring this up.
Why? If it was knights, I get it, and it was whether it's Templars, Teutonic Knights, or something having that Maltese flavour to it. I get that, they'll have a few falcons on it because that's what you do. But yeah, why having a Space Marine? I don't know. Anyway, maybe the artist just like Space Marines. Who knows? Maybe it will be a Space Marine sort of Maltese team. Who knows? I'm not going to buy it, so I'll worry about it at the time. Because the other thing as well, if Mrs. and spoiler alert, if anybody see you in Malta, Mrs. B and daughter Miss B may be there as well. If you say, "Oh, look, I've paid X amount of £100 to go to Malta on a flight and the hotel, and I've painted up a team for it, and I've taken them, and oh look, I paid X £100 because for a 2-day ticket for 6 matches. Is it 6 matches by the way, or 9?
3-day tickets, Scott.
So 3-day ticket. Okay, so 3-day ticket. You're going to be talking. What would you pay normally for a 1-day event? 20 quid, 30 quid. So let's say it's going to be. I reckon it's going to be at least for the admission only. You're going to be looking at what, 90 quid?
Well,
so plus the
you've got
most, 150 quid. And if you say, I paid 150 quid for my ticket and I got this lovely cardboard pitch, yeah. Something you're going to have to live with personally, guys.
I think they're clearly. I'll be interesting to see the pricing of it, like whether they price that additional team at such a height that it kind of makes everyone buy the middle one. But I don't know. I definitely want dice, and I'd probably quite use a commemorative coin. That's quite a nice souvenir. Yeah.
I do agree with you. It's something that hadn't clicked with me until you said it and we looked at it, Chris. If there was a tier in the middle that was entry, food and dice,
I'd like that would be my go-to.
Yeah.
But I wonder whether that would be everyone's go-to, and then they won't flog the pitches. So that's why they didn't put it.
Yeah. But as well, like you've got to consider so many people are going to be flying, and we're already going to be flying with a load of decent sized cases, with all the Blood Bowl stuff in it. Another cardboard pitch to bring back in that, and from a personal perspective, I like collecting the dice. I've got 1 GW pitch. I've got 1 rollout pitch from Half Forge Games. That does me fine. I don't need to take a third one, unless it's amazing, in which case I would consider it. So just flip flop, ignore everything I've said.
Yeah, just like what a load of nonsense. Slam, unless. Just leaving that door open.
I should make it shiny.
Moving away from the tickets, the one thing that they have got quite a lot on and about is the actual schedule. And looking at this is 9 games. Okay, so you literally you're starting at basically your first match is at 9 o'clock in the morning, and your last match finishes at 6 every day. So it's almost like I'm thinking you almost need to prepare for this like a marathon. You can't just turn up fresh faced on Saturday morning and go, or Friday morning and go, right, let's go, because you'll be done in by Saturday afternoon.
Can I just check that we're not all surprised that it's 3 days? I assumed and thought it would definitely be a 3-day, like, because it's has that come as a shock to you all?
For me, yeah, because I've never kind of really looked much into it, but okay. I thought to me, it is really full on. Even if it was 2 days, it's a lot to do in a day. So you're going to be you're literally sitting down and playing effectively all day, but for 3 whole days. And also they've got off-site events from 9 p.m. to late night, and it'd be like, the people who on the Friday night just go all out and have a few beers, they've got to remember that they've got to be back at the venue between 8 and 9 the following morning.
I don't think I was surprised that it was 3 days, given that it's the World Cup. It doesn't shock me. I can't remember whether Alicante was the same or whether or not. I think it was the same. Yeah. But Tom, you're absolutely right. I struggle with a 2 day. I struggle with a 1 day. By the time it gets to 5 o'clock, my brain's going already.
I think though, for Mr. Hovell though, Mr. Feeks, we did cake or death last year. 4 games in a day. Okay, on that occasion we all had a skin full of cider afterwards, which may not be the most. If we're looking at success of the team, I think we've got to look at it as an experience in 2027. But yeah, you can do it.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree. I suppose the other thing for me is, because it's 3 days, and we've all been there at these tournaments, and I hope people go there with the right attitude and frame of mind. Because let's say you are mid-table, bottom to mid-table, by the 3rd day, you've had those experiences in the past where you're still wanting to play games, but your opponent isn't bothered, and you're like, I've spent a lot of money to be here. And now I'm sitting here on a Sunday, and there's a person opposite me who's more interested in the bar than actually playing a game. So I suppose it's those kind of things you got to potentially weigh up. Or maybe
true, but then no, it's very true. But then I'd also argue, if you are going to be at the bar, you can imagine from our experience at Kent this year, the sort of quality of and the entertainment factor you're going to get from the other coaches. You're going to be in for a good game of Blood Bowl, shits, giggles, and the full, everything else to go with it.
Yeah, I think it's I think I'm seeing it as it's going to be a holiday with 5 people, and we're like 5 other people. We're all going to be we're all interested in the same thing. But actually, I think it's I didn't think I would be considering not taking lizards as much as I am, because I want to be there for the experience of going to a World Cup. Don't know how many I'll be in a position to be able to go to. I want to go and enjoy it, and I just want to have a nice time. And I want like we had at KTC, the first team we played on the second day. Great bunch, and I'm immediately very sorry that I'm not remembering the name of the team. All green jerseys. I'm sure you guys remember them. And like, one of the most important things to them was that we all had a group handshake selfie down the table. And I think we all had. I think that for all of us was one of the most enjoyable. Like, that was just felt like a very enjoyable atmosphere and stuff. And I think most people are going to go with that attitude. You're going to get some people go and be there and expect to win. I'm not even concerned about them, because I don't feel I'm going to be anywhere near them. And I just want to enjoy. I think I just want to enjoy I've never been to Malta before. I want to enjoy being in Malta. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think the thing is, with a 3-day tournament with the Swiss system, yes, you are right, Tom. By the 3rd day, you're going to end up with people that are either really burnt out or just are done. But you're much more likely to end up with a series of competitive matches, because obviously your first one's random. The Swiss system always takes a bit of time to work itself out to be a true comparison, so you're all on par. But you're probably going to end up with not just being on par with people of a similar mindset, because of the way that you're playing. You're likely to end up with people that are just, either just like, let's just have a chat and have some fun, or people just like, you know what, load of sixes, let's just see what happens.
And I suppose that kind of brings us on neatly to the actual skill sets. I suppose, because this is something that I've only just literally seen it, and I know Scott, you were going through this, and maybe you could give us a bit more about what your thoughts are on how it's been laid out.
Oh, cheers, Tom. Thanks for that one.
Here's a bus.
I literally have a quick 10-minute look. First of all, it's a really interesting one because my first initial reaction, like Chris, you said lizards. I want to have 9 games with a team that I'm going to enjoy playing. Yeah, so unless between now and then something radically changes, and again, we're 18 months out, we don't know what can happen in terms of any FAQs, erratas, anything in terms of updates. So I'm already thinking woodies, yeah, no tree, bollocks to it, why not? But in terms of how it looks, woodies are down at, rather than that standard 1/150, it's 1/140. But there's other things that have piqued my interest. If you look at, in terms of some of the other teams, things like, Norse stand out as well, having 1.2 million to be able to spend, plus they can stack. If they want a star player, they can, although I think Skorg is one of the black banned ones, isn't he? No, Thorsten Stoutmead and Skorg are both banned. Okay,
banned, yeah.
And Ivar. So basically, if you're a Norse player, all your good star players are banned. But apart from that, hey. So I think there's some interesting things to make you think, hopefully, as a coach, in terms of that. But my main thing is take a team that you're going to enjoy playing.
Well, this is what I'm kind of torn with, though, because I'm thinking I will enjoy playing lizards, but will I feel like I should be doing kind of do I feel like I should be doing well with them, and am I going to kind of get drawn into wanting to do well, or will I feel like I need to play them a particular way and maybe not enjoy it? Whereas if I were to take ogres, I know that whatever way I play, I will have a great time, and I will have so much fun. So I'm second guessing. Like everything makes me think I should give the Mighty Ducks a chance to shine on the world stage, and then I think, yeah, but I could throw some Noblars at the world. That feels good.
Okay, so not to nail you down, but Chris, at the moment, who is your first place team, and then who is your second place team at this moment? Would it be Mighty Ducks and then the New York Rangers? Yeah, I'm assuming they're going to the New York Rangers are your ogre team.
Yeah. So if you were asking me what team I want to play next for an extended period of time, I would probably say ogres. But I still think if I'm putting one then 2 for World Cup, I'm probably still just putting lizards top.
Mr. Tom Feeks, your current, again, this is just where we are right here today. We're sort of, 14, 15 months out. Who would be your first team go to? Who would be your second team?
So this isn't really first or second, but I was thinking about this earlier on. I was fiddling with some rosters, and I think if I was going to be competitive, which no, because that's a lot of pressure over 3 days, it would be humans. If I was going for fun for 3 days, just take the rats. I know I can have fun games with Skaven and pull some bullshit off, so just go with the rats.
Very true. Tom, Mr. Hobble?
If I was playing it safe, I would have my Necro, obviously sprint on the werewolf. But I've just noticed
the Tom Hubble special, yep.
Yeah, but I've just noticed I could get my halflings with deep root, 3 rerolls, and the Master Chef as well. So that was really good.
Yes. Yes.
And so that's 2 catchers, 1 hefty, 2 tree men, hopefuls up to 12 people, then deep root as well.
Oh, that's horrendous. I was looking at the stunties because I think I would be very tempted with goblins here because I could have a lot of fun with them. I just don't know whether or not I'd enjoy them for 3 days straight. And then the one thing that put me off the gnomes is not the fact that you would have a bad roster with the gnomes. Why do gnomes and dwarfs have the same same budget, but dwarves have 3 more skills than them? And there's something about that really puts me off taking gnomes.
Is it the assumption that if you take gnomes, you're probably taking deep root because they're allowed to have a tree?
Yeah.
So have they taxed? They're kind of pushing you to take a star because they're almost taxing you, aren't they?
Yeah, it's only ever tree. It's only ever tree you can have because Maple's on the ban star players.
Okay, so they're kind of
amazing.
They've kind of that's how they've taxed you for being able to take a star player. Like no team who can take a star player have more than 52 SP to choose from. Like it's only Bretonians, Halflings, Norse, and Gnomes. That's it. There's no one else who has even got it next to their team.
That's true. And I've just realised Goblins can't take a star player. Oh, right. Can I change my mind about this whole rule set? Goblins not allowed to take even 1 star player.
But let me counter that straight away. Do Goblins need a star player?
No, but they want one. Plus, I've got a lovely Ripper model that was 3D printed for me the other day, and I want to give them a try.
You've got 60 SPP to spend on those goblins. So you can basically you can turn every weapon into a star with an additional skill and still double stack a strong arm bullseye troll. There's Oh, actually, no, they can't double stack. Corrected, they can't double stack.
But you could. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You could. I would argue that goblins probably want more money than the skills to be competitive. But fine, a point.
Tell you what, the ones I'm taking, because I know you were all going to ask, because that's what you do. So obviously Woody's would be my favourite, but I'm looking at the Dark Elves because I know you're all going to ask it anyway. So just to save you the embarrassment of missing me out. For 1.1 million, need to see the roster details, but 44 SP means you can have 2 secondary skills. So that'll take you to 20. And then, you can still have another 4. So in terms of your 6 skills, you have 4 core skills, and then you can have 2 secondary skills. So you can do, obviously, your blodge pieces on your blitzers. You can do your at least 1 wrestle witch. And then you can put maybe, an extra 2 mighty blow pieces in there as well.
So for you, is it which elf? Is it a case of what elf do you pick? Because you did, I was surprised, but knowing the teams that you've had the most success with and possibly enjoyed the most, but you're not considering Skaven at all.
I need to have a look at that. What you can build with 1.1080.
You can build plenty. You can get up. Annoyingly, I was just having a quick look at a Norse roster, so the Skaven ones disappeared. I think you could get up to 13 players with a Roger, 3 rerolls, and 50k for Apo or Keg or whatever. So you can get kind of everything you need.
Do something like that. If you've got an extra player, you can always then foul the shit out of something. So, I did enjoy doing Skaven at the Ipswich Classic. And how much could you get? 44 SP, Mr. Fee. So if you think about that, that would be quite nice. You can't stack, but hey, do you need to? So 44, because you can obviously then you can stick 1 mighty blow on a blitzer, because the blitzers have strength as their primary as well. Most people will go one strength blitzer, 1 guard blitzer. But it's an interesting one. I had to do that.
For the halflings, you can get 5 hopefuls, all with pile driver. So that'd be good.
Well, that's your team sold. Now, obviously, Luke isn't here. What team are we going to decide for him?
Chaos Renegade, because he gets 66 SP.
He would
and
love
the
that.
models as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Luke. I'm not sure what Luke would pick. I think he could be tempted by Nurgle, but I don't know how much the gold reduction damages them. I think he could be tempted by Renegade, but I don't know whether he would enjoy it for 9 games. I don't think he would pick Orc. I think he's had enough of Orcs.
Didn't Luke take Renegade to the Open last year?
He did take it to the Open, and I seem to remember him
Didn't have
being a
the
little bit
best
burnt
time.
out by them by the end.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if while we're recording I can get an answer from him, I will. So bear with and continue discussions.
I think sorry, Mr. Feeks. I was just going to mention something else from the Royal Pack that I mentioned before the pre-record on this. What's going on, people at Malta, about colours? Additional skills must be clearly identified on the miniature. So you use a skill band and on the base, not a fucking loom band. You use a skill band. The official tournament skill colour conventions are, block is blue, dodge yellow, guard is green, mighty blow is red, tackle is orange, wrestle is white. What about sprint? What about the werewolf? Come on, what are you doing? Go on,
Can I? So this color convention for skills isn't new, and it's, I think the NAF might even have this guide on theirs as well, and I think it is stemmed from the fact that a lot of tournaments, those are the 6 skills that you normally see. So if you don't have skill bands, then you can just mark it by a color, and everyone knows green is guard and blah. And so that's where it's that. I don't think this is Malta's decision, just to kind of just to help with that. So you can see the wrestle one, so I don't think this is Malta's decision. But
can we say no loom bands? Don't care. Make it easy, clear. No loom bands.
This might be the situation where you have to allow them. My only thinking is this is going to be a tournament you go to where there is going to be a language barrier.
Do you know what? I'm tempted, and hear me out. I might take a little pair of scissors. I see a loom band and a free skill band. I'm going to borrow Tom's and donate them to people. So if I see a little blue loom band, they say, "Oh, this has got block." I'll say, "There's block." I would buy loads more than we will buy them, and I'm sure Charlie Victor will be there. We just say, just give us the loom bands.
I've got the skill tabs from last season, which I haven't used a load of. So you just have those if you want.
We'll just give them away. Anyone we're playing and they say loom band, say no, I'm refusing to play on the grounds of some sort of discriminatory prejudice that has no bearing.
We're going to be playing down one end of the table and just hear some poor person just be like, "Oh mon Dieu, mon élastique," and just like.
We apologise to every French listener.
Oh, it was French, was it?
Elastique, of course, it's French. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure we don't have any French listeners. But I will.
I think. Well, we may have some. One thing that I found quite interesting. Well, not necessarily interesting, but maybe just a point for conversation. Punditry team. So we've got Smith Peltry, Dizzy Bess, Green Screen Phil, Rick Reckless, and there was someone from the Malta committee there who I can't remember was actually on the pundit committee there. I quite like that group. I really quite like that group. I did think that it's going to be interesting seeing people's reactions to losing, and then Greenskin Phil's toxic positivity coming through. Trying to cheer everyone up as he goes around the hall.
No offense, if you've come off a bit of a beating and you need a hug from someone, if Phil was there, that'd make things all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I think I'm personally quite happy with it. Tree's a very, very good pundit. She's done loads before. Dizzy's lovely. I haven't met Rick, but haven't really listened to a lot of his stuff at all yet. And Phil's just such a nice guy. The only question is, obviously, he is always in t-shirt and flip-flops.
That's fine, but you do sound a bit of an ass kiss there, Tom. Oh, they're all
I'm trying to. Well, fuck you. I'm trying to be positive, Scott. I'm trying to be positive.
You're on the scrounge for a free call out and merch, aren't you? That's it.
Shh. It's called brand awareness.
So less than 0.1% of our audience is French.
You'll be all right then.
But if I've got that wrong, then je suis désolé. Luke has responded to me, giving me 5 teams. He's basically said no idea. Basically, haven't looked at the rules yet. But he has listed 5 teams. You can have 2 guesses each and see if we can get the top 5. Mr. Hoggle.
Top. What he's gone for? He has gone Chaos Renegades.
No, Mr. Bryant.
Snotlin.
Yes, Mr. Feeks.
Skaven.
Yes, Mr. Hovel.
Oh, Nurgle.
Yes, Mr. Bryant.
Shambling.
Yes, there's one left, Feeks.
Oh, what would he have gone for?
I think if he's
Nobility.
No, he does have mobility, but no. The last one was orcs. So Skaven, orcs, undead, snotlings, and Nurgle. His current list, which is basically all the teams he owns. There's only like 3 teams, or 4 teams I can think of he owns that aren't on that list. But hey,
exactly. Well, I think there is definitely a point there, and obviously this has been quite a ramble. Starting off from Tom's point about the 3 days. Take a team you're going to enjoy. I think that's going to be it. 3 days is a lot of Blood Bowl. We love this game. It's exhausting, and there was a reason why in the stream the other night they were talking about just having bananas with you, because it is incredibly tiring. And if you need a little pick me up, no pun intended, you can have a little bit of a nibble on the banana. I'm so upset with myself.
you should be.
I'm genuinely upset with myself. If I remember to edit that out,
Can I just say, on behalf
tired,
of euphemism fans everywhere, that was piss poor.
it was horrendous.
It was shit.
I'm
It wasn't even
tired.
funny. It wasn't even
No,
an old
it
gag.
wasn't clever
was shit.
either.
And I could tell you, I could see as soon as you said it, you had that disappointment etched in your face. And you need to basically think about that ready for the next cast.
I do. I need to have a thought. I need to have a real hard think about my life right now.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in myself. Anyway, any last thoughts on the World Cup? Obviously, all of us, we're all planning on going.
Yes.
I need to speak to the director of home operations.
Same here.
Yeah,
Tina, if you're listening, please, Tina.
One last thing, I have noticed that if you can't wait till next year, there is a preparation tournament actually happening in Malta on the which is a 4-man team tournament on November the 21st of this year.
Hang on, Tom. November 21st.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. Emily, do you mind if I do a second tournament in Malta in November? Yeah? In the cupboard. Yeah, that went about as well as you thought, Tom.
Yeah, just putting it out there.
Oh, you are a risky man.
Yeah.
Well, I think Chris is going to enjoy the cupboard, and I think that's probably the reaction we all expected from Emily there. If you do have any more thoughts about the World Cup, have we been right? Have we been wrong? Any teams you'd recommend? Any general thoughts? And just a comment whether or not we'll see you there. Mr. Scott Bryant, how can people get in touch?
Mr. Tom Feeks, if people want to get in touch to complain, one, about the severe lack of euphemism quality on tonight's show.
I genuinely apologise. It was horrendous.
Okay. If you want to share with us any negotiation tips for these sort of conversations that we're all going to have with domestic management in the next several weeks or months, drop us a note, usual place, newdiceplease@gmail.com. if you want to also tell us how underwhelmed or overwhelmed you were about the GW pre-release and what you think of their quality of models, or even if you're super excited about potions and sevens, let us know. And Mr. Tom Hovell, if people want to watch you in action, in particular, more Blood Bowl action in terms of any knockout Blood Bowl coming up matches, how can people watch you in all your glory for your Disney Channel?
So you can see us as well as hear us on Blood Bowl Live in YouTube, where, as Scott quite rightly said, we are now into our semi-finals of the Arbarks and Dragons League. You can also get us on the socials, on Instagram and Blue Sky under New Dice Please. And just a point of people calling in and sending us information about up and coming events. I believe, Tom, you've got one that we've a kind person's brought in to us.
We have indeed. So a quick shout out to Barbecue Blitz on Saturday the 26th of September this year at Death Save Gaming in Coventry. It's really a shame that it's not happening on my wife's birthday weekend. Otherwise, I'll definitely be trying to go to this one. It's 2 full days of Blood Bowl with a barbecue. And it looks like a lot of fun. We'll stick a link in the chat below. So go and check it out. It definitely looks like a lot of fun. You know, Blood Bowl, barbecue, incredible. And also, whilst we're on the subject, if you can't make the extra tournament on the 21st of November, but you're free the weekend before, we still have loads of tickets left for our charity tournament on the 14th of November in Sutton in Ashfield at Sanctuary, which we're running for November. Chris, do you have a word of the day or a thought of the day or anything of the day?
Sanguinate.
Ooh, classy.
Just gonna check it's a word. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is something about blood. I've been watching some vampire stuff. That's where I'm at.
Well, before Chris gets talking about his vampire porn, let's leave it there. Thank you very much, Mr. Scott Bryant. Thank you very much, Mr. Chris Coe. Thank you very much, Mr. Tom Hovell. We have been New Dice Please, and we will see you next week.